Squarespace is an amazing web hosting platform where you can build, design, buy domains, and host your amazing website that you're trying to build. If you guys are looking for a dope website, Squarespace is the place to do it. I just can't get over how amazing this is. This is by far the most beautiful place I've ever been in. New Zealand, 100%. If it's not on your bucket list yet, put it on your bucket list because it's so worth it. This is my trip to New Zealand. Woo! Random mixed match of experiences, emotions, exploration, and discovery. And I'm having a fucking hard time editing it all together. You see, I could just simply put it all together and show just the amazing parts. Slow motion sequences corresponding with hip music, and layered in with some B-roll that makes me look like a social media influencer rock star. I could apply some parts of me vlogging, add some words of wisdom, and even tell myself that this video is made to motivate people.
Because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
As you drive up the
As long as we stay on the road.
But you see, the struggle I'm dealing with isn't making a video. It's making a video that corresponds with how the trip actually felt. One that includes the intimate moments and the epic ones. A beautiful blend between reality and fantasy, peppered with the filter of being cinematic while still being grounded and real. I want to include morning coffees on boat rides and barefoot hikes, helicopter flights to glaciers, and light bulb discoveries on beaches. Life is like a road trip filled with experiences. There's a lot of stuff to remember. So rather than trying to keep a catalog of everything, just be super present and remember the stuff that matters. As you can see, trying to put all these moments together can be a little bit overwhelming. Problem 1. Crafting a story is like splintering cracks in the ice. Once you step down, multiple others begin to bubble up to the surface, spiderwebbing out into a daunting realm of possible outcomes. What started as a video about me following a napkin's directions turns into a motivational video, then alters into a vlog about hella hiking, photographs, and then leads into a documentary about the purpose of travel. The spiral continues, the flood of ideas expands and expands. Here's where problem 2 kicks in. I call this the cutting room floor effect. When you have a collection of beautiful footage, unforgettable moments, and incredible quotes, it's so hard to disregard them. Putting them aside and focusing on the more important ones is like ignoring a loved one, or what we call it in the film industry, it feels like you're killing your babies. I want to add this moment of us finding Jordan's phone in a field after searching for it for over 3 hours, but it doesn't fit with this cool moment of us on a glacier. Do I remove the glacier part, or do I keep the phone part? Do I disregard both and start from scratch, or do I try and Frankenstein the two together by using something I like to call a vessel? Now that leads me into the third and final problem, the one that daisy chains problem 1 with problem 2. I'm indecisive when it comes to this stuff. Choosing and deciding what path to take and what babies to kill sometimes is the most daunting part of being a storyteller. Deleting one moment can push the dominoes and effectively eliminate an entire stem of narrative outcomes. And I'm totally terrified of this. What if I chose the wrong path? Did I just kill the entire story by deleting the shot of me standing underneath a waterfall? Or did that make the video better? But despite this chaos, despite all of these problems, I do boil down to a few solutions when I face this problem. Solution number 1, I can make multiple videos from this, hundreds stemming from this one trip to New Zealand, ensuring every single shot of footage makes it on screen. But let's face it, that would be a lot of work, and personally I don't have time for all that. So then that leads me to option number 2, where I disregard story and assemble a bunch of beautiful footage together and just be satisfied that the shots went somewhere rather than ending up on the floor. But I wouldn't feel fulfilled with that because, again, I'm not adding in story. So can I put the two together, blending story with amazing shots and only making perhaps maybe 1 or 2 videos out of this? Well, that leads us to option number 3. Option number 3 is to eliminate the expectation of outcome. Rather than assuming that every moment will make it on screen, I'll be okay with the ones that end up on the cutting room floor. Because deleting the shots from my editing timeline doesn't mean that I'm deleting those moments from my life's timeline. It just means that they're not going to be shared in a video, but that moment still exists. So by eliminating expectation, I would just choose one narrative path and follow it organically to the end, assembling shots in an order that feels good rather than overthinking about the ones that I'm leaving out. So I'll choose a path no matter which one it is. That path will splinter and veer into different directions, but that's the beauty of storytelling. And if I'm daunted by the fact that my video doesn't live up to the hype of the experience, I'll just remind myself that at least I got to have this experience in the first place. And I'm sure that some of that will translate on screen if I just let the story flow rather than overthinking everything.
Okay. Ugh. This video has been a lot of work. There's been a lot of different moving parts, and I'm actually still working away on it, getting it done and completed. But I wanted to just share a couple thoughts and opinions on this project right now. Is the fact that with this movie, I chose option 3. I just decided to make the video, but I also have utilized option number 1, which is making different videos from this one video. Primarily because I didn't land on this narrative until now. So while I was sort of traveling and while I was spinning the gears, I made a couple other videos. So you don't have to necessarily go with option 1, 2, or 3, but just know that those options are available. And the biggest thing that I want you guys to take out of this, and the biggest slice, is the fact that just choose one of those, but don't not make something because it's too daunting to even step into it. Just start creating a concept. Come up with an idea or motive behind that. So the other videos, for example, I made one called The Vessel, which I talk about how to tell stories utilizing a tool, and then I made a couple tutorials regarding 4K, and then I made some stuff for PremiumBeat. So you guys can assemble a story and a narrative just by having some sort of motivation. Be like, I'm gonna do a tutorial out of this, or I'm going to assemble a story, or I'm gonna make a movie about making movies. Oh my God, so meta. But regardless, just kind of the act of doing is so much more important than procrastination. Also on this trip, I captured a lot of photographs that I wanted to live somewhere. I knew I couldn't make a video about the photographs, but actually maybe. But I did decide to start uploading these photos to a website. And that's my website that I designed and developed on Squarespace, which leads us to who sponsored this video. Squarespace is a web building, web hosting platform for you to get your domain for your website, to build it, to launch it, to get it out there. I've been using Squarespace for my company, Blackout Media, for about 5 years now, and I've loved the way they build all of that stuff so much to the point that I've actually designed my own personal website using the same web hosting platform. If you guys want to try this out and test out using Squarespace, you guys can literally just try out a trial completely for free. And if you're wanting to get a domain or possibly purchase that website, you can use the promo code ZachRamlin at checkout to receive 10% off your purchase. But anyway, give it a shot, try it out. Also, thank you so much for watching into this very end of the video. I've actually got to go finish the movie because it's not completely done yet, but for those of you who stayed tuned watching this, thank you. I'll see you guys in another video. And also check out the other ones that are popping up now. Those are the other videos that I made on this trip. I'll see you guys later. Keep making some great stuff and choose at least one of those options that I listed. See ya.